Alright, here we go. Hey up doggos, welcome back to the channel. And it's been a while since I've done a face-to-face talk with you guys that isn't a mental breakdown. I hope everyone's doing good out there, and I hope everyone is keeping safe and to themselves, and I hope that all of you are in a good place right now. Before you start panicking, don't worry, this isn't a bad serious video or anything like that. I know the tone of it is, and these kind of videos tend to start out like that. Don't worry, there's no bad news, there's no bad thing happening at all. I'm just here just to have a little bit of a chat. I should also just mention that I have no plan for this video or anything like that. I've just turned my recording on and here we go. Because my mood has been different recently, and that in a good way. I should probably lay some groundwork for this video just so I've got a base to build on. So basically a few years ago I put out a video called How I Deal with Autism. And in that video I basically just covered, my mental condition and how I tend to deal with that mental condition in my own way, because autism and mental health is different for everybody. Different things work for different people, but I just in that moment wanted to express the way that I dealt with it personally, and maybe, hopefully, it helped a few of you. And the response I got from that video was extremely positive. It was very heartwarming, and everybody was very, very supportive, and a lot of people, basically came forward as like, yeah, I do the same things as you do, but they don't work as well for me. And then there were other people that were saying, yeah, I do the same thing, and it works for me as well. Thank you for making this video. Gosh, when did I actually make that video? Let me just look real quick. Holy cow, 2018, that's almost 4 years ago. Yep, things have changed a lot in that time. Now, one of the points I'd like to bring up about that video that I made is that I didn't mention in that video that I also suffered from ADHD, which if you don't know, stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. Now, I'm fully aware that there might be some people in the comment section willing to challenge that claim. Well, it's not a claim, it's a fact, but they'll probably use the reason like, you can't have ADHD, you've learned how to play guitar, you've learned how to edit, you do these videos. We've seen from your channel that you can be incredibly focused, or hyper-focused at times. But what I'll have to say to that is that is also a symptom of ADHD. Some forms of ADHD actually allow people to be hyper-focused on a certain subject. Now, a lot of the time, the subject is something that the person likes or is incredibly interested in. Now, this isn't every person with ADHD, but it is also a symptom. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, when it comes to my mental health and conditions, is that for my entire life, I've always said to myself, you don't need to go and get help for this kind of stuff. You can train it, you can learn how to deal with these things, you don't need medication, you'll be fine. And I've been like that my entire life. I've had this sort of stubbornness about us to just basically say, no, you can do it yourself. That changed rather recently, in fact, a couple of weeks ago. Basically, at this moment of time, I am on medication for ADHD. And when I first took a low dose a couple of weeks ago, it was like my eyes had been opened. Everything just became clearer for me almost. Now, due to TOS reasons and for the safety of having this video monetized, I'm not going to mention the name of the drug, but the day that I took that pill, it's just everything completely changed. It was like I was a completely different person, and it was for the better. Because a couple of things that I've been going through over the last few years is procrastination. I am probably the worst procrastinator that there is on this planet. And that itself has had actually quite a dramatic effect on my mental health, as it is. For many years, I just thought I was a lazy person, and, other people thought that as well. And to be honest, it sucks being called a lazy person and stuff like that. But the day that I actually managed to get this medication, it was like something just completely flipped on its head. Work got done, basically. At this moment in time, it is the 14th of February. Tomorrow morning, I am going for further assessment at the doctor's, just to see if there's anything more that can be done for me. The effect that this new medication has had on me has been life-changing, basically. I felt more focused. I had no reason or want to procrastinate. I've gotten a lot of small work done that really needed to be doing. Like, for example, with my Patreon, everything on that page was out of date and everything was old, and I didn't really pay much mind to it, even though that's quite possibly the most important thing that's keeping me afloat right now is you guys on Patreon. Which, by the way, if you want to help me out and stuff, There is a link to my Patreon down in the description below if you guys want to support me, and you guys get rewards in return, like this t-shirt, this poster, these stickers, yada yada yada. Let's get the shill out of the way. But once everything for that just got like done and out of the way, another thing that's changed in me when starting this medication is my mood has been untouchable. It's the best I've felt in so many years. It seems to have, like, you know, conquered a part of my depression that I've been going through. Even though this isn't an antidepressant, just knowing that, you know, things are on the up for me at the moment, coupled that with the medication, I have felt like I've been on top of the world. And even now, I'm feeling great. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way. We've been going for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Oh, I feel so good after getting on medication. You do what you gotta do, brother. Just be careful is all if meds kick ass. I mean, look, I had a realization moment when I first took the meds, okay? It's like, I felt like I'd wasted my life, basically, because I've missed out, and it turns out I'm actually not lazy. It turns out that I'm a hard worker. It's just, my ADHD is so bad that I procrastinate is like the worst. My procrastination is the worst. You see, guys, I told you that this was a positive video. So what is the point of this video? Well, it's one of the two things. Number one, what it means for both of the channels. Basically, in the last couple of months, I've been in a bit of a rut. And obviously, it has a lot to do with mental health. Which, by the way, on a side note, why is mental health a bit of a taboo to talk about? I don't understand. Personally, I've never had a problem with talking about it, and I've never had a problem with other people talking about it as well. Let's get this taboo nature changed, basically. But getting back to my point, what it means for the channels is that, like, I don't feel like I'm in that rut anymore. Even though this particular channel is stagnant at the minute and it isn't growing, I keep teetering in and out of having 70,000 subscribers. At the moment, I've got 69,000, and it is going down, which is fine. Some of you guys really didn't like the fact that I said that I'd left the furry fandom. Almost like I had to be in it for other people to enjoy my content, which doesn't make any sense. And I think it has something to do with the fact that, like, I did try and change the content up a little bit by, like, removing my fursuit from the equation. Now, I can actually understand why people got upset with me, and people got really mad with me when I did a live stream called Broken, where I was basically, you know, shouting at all of you guys and viewers because I was blaming my viewers for my channel tanking. Now, I'm not going to be a coward and say that, oh yeah, it's because I was depressed. Yes, depression did come into it, but at the end of the day, I made that decision to, you know, lash out a little bit. And I can only apologize for people who saw me lose myself. I guess I was a bit mad that I felt like, you know, people were only watching the video because I was wearing my fursuit head. But yeah, of course people are going to stop watching if you remove that. You built your entire career around it. And that's what I didn't realize at the time, is that, yes, people do stick around for the content, but I had to remember that the suit was part of the content. And to be honest, I don't know any other gaming channel that does what I do, basically sit in my suit head for 3 hours and record a game. So once again, if you were there for that and saw that side of me, then I can only apologize. I'm getting sidetracked here. Let's get off this subject because it's dark and sad and it's in the past now. The real gist of what I'm trying to say is basically that I'm in a good place right now. I'm going to keep making the content, and I'm going to keep making videos for both channels because I love what I do. I love my job, and I love you guys because you guys are the reason why I have this job in the first place. Yes, the content has changed slightly over this last year. Like, you may have noticed that I have calmed down tempo-wise, and I try my best not to use bad language or swear or anything like that. I don't even blaspheme anymore. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be a little bit disappointed with that and you enjoyed that kind of content, but the thing is though, when I actually came to stop doing that, because for one, my dad, okay, whom I live with, hates swearing. My entire life, he is the one person that I will never ever swear around. And even at the age of 26, I still do not do that. But after, you know, living with my dad for like a month and so, and I hadn't sworn at all in that time, I went back and looked at some of my old, like, anger videos of me, you know, completely going like a pirate with my bad language. And I was kind of shocked, you know, and a bit ashamed and embarrassed. Because really, it's not a good look. I mean, yes, it technically is entertaining, if you like that, but some people are, like, completely turned off by that kind of thing. And so it just, like, came around to me like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, make a big effort to not swear in my videos. I mean, look at any video in the past year. I don't think I've slipped up once, which kind of shows you how seriously I'm taking this kind of thing. Other things that have happened in my life over the last year, just a couple of things that have been, you know, very beneficial for me, and I've been very happy about it. One of those things is that I'm now a religious man. I won't go into too much detail because basically that's nobody's business. So what I'm going to do now is I'm basically just going to answer a few questions that people have been asking me over the last couple of months. So one question that keeps popping up here and there from a couple of individuals is that fursuit and the dangerous thing that you wanted to do. Is that ever going to happen? To answer that, yes, I still have ambitions to make that series. In fact, I actually went to one of the locations that I want to film at to film some B-roll footage for when it comes to filming the pilot episode. Because oddly enough, I actually live quite near a fairly decent starting point for the series. I'm not going to give too much away, but it does have something to do with radiation. Not Chernobyl, although Chernobyl would be a cool location to do. At the moment though, I'm just simply not able to afford some of the things that I want to do. I am in the process of, you know, doing things in order to get to that goal. For one, I'm, you know, doing my driving lessons in order to get a driver's license so I can, you know, travel about a little bit easier. I think that's the main crutch of everything, because train prices, ticket prices have gone sky high here in the UK. Not to mention the cost of living's going up at the minute. Another thing that I've done in order to try and achieve this is with my Patreon, I've added a much higher tier that is literally called You Are the Producer, and the sole purpose of that one is funding the Fursuit and the Dangerous series. But I'm not going to go into any more detail about that because then it'll just turn into another Patreon shell. Another question that keeps coming up, and this one's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit, but I really must stress this one. So a lot of people ask, are you going to be coming to conventions, and are you going to return to the furry fandom at all? My simple answer to that is no. While I did have some of the greatest times in my life within the community, it is not my scene anymore. It isn't for me. And things keep popping up here and there within the community that just basically makes me glad that I left, which is really sad because, again, I had some of the best times of my life there, but I don't feel like that is the place for me to have any more good times anymore. However, that being said, I will still attend other conventions like TwitchCon, EGX, Insomnia, the Sim Racing Expo over in Germany, maybe some Comic-Cons. So if you guys ever go to any of those, there's a possibility that I might be there. Funding dependent, obviously. I do apologize if this video has been a bit all over the place. I literally had no script or, you know, plan to do this video, even though that's how all of my videos go anyway. I just decided that I wanted to speak my mind, tell you guys where I'm at the moment, and give you guys a bit of an update on like my mental health situation and stuff like that. But overall, just to let you know that I am in a good place at the moment and feeling better than ever. Which incidentally brings me onto a thing that I'm going to suggest to people who suffer from ADHD. If you feel like I did, where you feel like, oh, I can do things on my own, I don't need help. I felt exactly like that once, and all I can say to you guys is just have a try at getting yourself evaluated by a medical professional and just see how it works for you, because for me it has been a life changer, this thing for me. Anyway guys, this is where the video ends. I'm sorry if this video has been a bit of left field content almost, and it is a massive change of pace as to, you know, the regular gaming stuff that comes out, but I wanted to speak my mind, and I hope you guys understand that, and I hope it's given you guys some peace of mind that I'm doing okay and I'm in a better place now for it. My mood is better, and I'm going to continue making content for everybody. Anyway guys, if you've enjoyed this face-to-face talk, then feel free to leave a like, and if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. Guys, we have new merch on the store. Some of the merchandise on the store has been updated to make it look a little bit fresher, as well as some brand new stuff, including shirts and hoodies all about Luna. And depending on whether it's out by the time this video comes out, our first full t-shirt design based around Luna. It's called Luna's Galaxy, and it is stunning. So if you guys want that, then links are in the description below. And as one last minute shill, if you guys really want to support me, then my Patreon is down in the description as well. It's recently been updated. All of the rewards and the tiers have been updated to be fresh. And for the last 6 months, I've been doing something called Patron Day. So if you are a paying patron, you guys get to come and hang out with me, play games with me, watch movies, and we all have a good time. So my next Patron Day is on the 26th of this month. Basically, it's the last Saturday of every month. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate it if you've made it this far in the video. So with no further ado, have a good night everybody, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Talk to y'all later.